Hi everyone, today I'm talking about Altria stock, which is a stock that I talked about recently and a stock that I said I was interested in buying. Well, I actually bought my first entry point into Altria stock the other day, and I'm going to talk about why I got into the stock and what prices I got it at and my plan from here. But I'm going to talk about all that, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do with my position in the long term. So I actually got into Altria stock at $44, and if you kind of want to know a bit more about Altria stock, then I did do a full video on my channel a few videos back. So if you want loads of information, I did quite a deep dive into the company as well and why I'm considering the company. So if you want a little bit more information, go check that video out. But today I'm going to talk about kind of where I'm going from here now I've entered the stock at these prices. So Altria stock, like I said, I got it at $44, and the whole reason why I got into stock is because of the dividend. Now, obviously, the dividend is a really nice yield. I think it's probably one of the highest dividend yields that I've ever gone and invested in. Now, for me, when I looked at the dividend as well, looking at what's happening with the stock price, obviously it's down on a little bit of a downtrend right now, and that's one reason why I didn't go. I haven't bought a massive position into Altria, but I bought a nice steady position into Altria just in case this stock does go down a bit more from here because of that downtrend. So if it was to go down a little bit more, then I would go and buy the stock, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But the dividend was the whole point I got into it with that nice yield, and if the stock did go down, the dividend yield will go up as well. The dividend itself, I've talked about before, and I believe that it's a very safe dividend that they will carry on paying. I said that I don't think that the dividend will potentially get raised as much as it has been done before, but at the same time, I don't think it'll be cut. And I think that if the Altria can carry on hitting their targets for sales and revenue, they'll be very safe to pay that dividend. And I kind of see no threat to them missing their revenue because of the industry that they're in, the kind of smoking manufacturing side of it and the vaping side of it. They're all kind of industries that will be fine if a recession comes, because people find that smoking is a bit more of a need that they have to have. It's not like a luxury thing that you go buy to treat yourself. I think people carry on buying whatever's going on in the economy itself. So I'm pretty confident, even if we had a downtrend or a bad kind of economy in the next kind of couple months, years, and it'll be a very safe stock going forward. Now, that all comes from the good management that Altria have, and I kind of really like the management at Altria because I feel like, especially last year, they were making very good investments for the company's future and dealing with a lot of the problems that they had. Now, obviously, as a smoking manufacturer and people smoking a lot less, that's the interesting thing is when people say people smoke a lot less, that's because of the average population smoking less. But when we think about it, it's proven that because there's more people in the world right now, the actual amount of people smoking is still the same. It's just there's a lot more non-smokers, and that pushes the percentage down. And also, I kind of see like smoking is not something that will completely go ever. I think people are always going to smoke. And with the investments that the management team have made, which has gone into the vaping industry as well, which is growing at something like a 200% rate right now, is a really good move for them. So they kind of covered that sector as well. They've also invested into a cannabis company as well. So if the legalization of weed comes even bigger than what it is right now, they're kind of positioned really well in that sector as well. And also they've invested into an alcohol company as well. So they've kind of gone now from that like one sector to being another three sectors. So they're in four good sectors overall, all with quite decent positions in them companies, nice percentages. And with a few of them investments as well, if they go really well, they have got the option to go and buy even more of a percentage in them companies. So that's kind of a really good kind of what the management team have done to kind of target this slowing revenue that they've had to go invest into them companies, and that should help the revenue right now. And I believe that, you know, when we look at Altria, the revenue's kind of been like a steady kind of climb, but it's been pretty flat overall. And if some of these, I think that some of these investments could really pay off for them, and we could actually go from a company that grows at something of a 1 to 2% rate to even a 3 to 5% rate. That would be fantastic. So I think that's how good these investments actually are for them. So I really like the management team and I like where the company's going from now. Another thing as well is the PE, especially when we look at the industry, it's got a very low PE for the industry. Historically, it's at quite a low PE right now. Dividend wise, it's at a very good ratio of a dividend for the industry as well. I think the average dividend yield in the industry is 2.5%, but theirs is obviously like 7.5%. So the actual PE is really good and the dividend's really good, and in the industry itself. And the last thing that kind of pushed me over the line to go buy this stock is that the company itself is that obviously I invested in for the dividend, and I think that I'll get a good dividend yield over the years from it. When I look at the stock price as well, I think the stock price is quite undervalued. And I look at the stock and I see like a good 30% upside in this company from these prices. So I think that investing in this company right now, I'm going to get a nice little gain from the dividend. But as well, I think that the stock price will go up, and that will also push the return up on this investment for me. And I don't really get into many dividend value companies that have a 30% upside as like this, but I think it's quite undervalued on the stock price as well. So that's another thing that I expect to get a good return on from here. So my position itself right now is my actual smallest position in my portfolio of all my stocks. I think it's currently like 12 stocks I own right now, and it is the smallest position in my portfolio. But the reason why is because I kind of just wanted to enter like slowly from here and see, because the stock is on a downtrend. I just want to be careful that if it goes down another 10%, I can add into the position, because there's easy potential for it to go down, and then I might even review it and see that if in 6 months time it kind of stays where it is, then I might add again. So I don't mind adding if it goes lower or stay at these prices, and I think that at the moment that's where it will be for a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm at with my position size, and I'll see what happens there. But overall, my position size is something that I really want to add in, and I see that Altria stock has the potential to come my 4th or 5th biggest position in my portfolio because of the upside I see in the stock price, and the dividend yield is fantastic. So it could have the potential to get that high up my portfolio. Obviously, right now, when I look at my portfolio, I've got Microsoft, Visa, Alibaba, and Align stock, I think, are my top 4 right now. So something underneath them would be pretty much where I'll be looking to go. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I wouldn't mind adding into this company at all. And if I do buy any more stock or shares into Altria, I'll make a video about it. And if I do eventually sell them, I'll talk about why I sold them and the price that I sold at. But I generally don't see that happening for quite a long time, to be honest with you. So that's me talking about Altria stock today, guys. If you like the video, please give it a like. That'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe if you haven't, if it's your first time watching my videos, and I'll see you on the next one.